Om Namo Narayana, Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva Om, Shivoham, Om. Welcome to another Satsang with your host, Chakra Yogi, from the Yogi Cave on this dog day of summer. Let us continue with the Kaula Jnana Nirnaya. O auspicious, glorious, and three-eyed one, listen now to this factual truth. One should meditate on the place of the body where the hair grows upward, the crown of the skull. One should visualize this area as a flame of light, effulgent as lightning. One will attain hereby omniscience. One will experience tremors, stillness, eloquence, mudras, flying upwards, the ability to enter and conquer any city as well as others' thoughts, to know others' thoughts or will. One will also attract others, know the past and future, see from afar, destroy wrinkles and gray hair on the body, change form at will, and be like a creature that flies in the sky. So the whole idea and notion of see these is very, very important, as you can see. And it repeats itself over and over again. Thus I have revealed to you the knowledge of the center of the hair hole, the tip of the skull, according to the Kaula tradition. And the Tibetans have a tradition of trying to pierce that hole, so to speak, so that through meditation and so on, so that when they do pass away, when it's their time, it's much easier for them to depart. So it's a tradition, a tantric tradition, to be aware of that area of the body that goes way back. O virtuous one, the characteristics of the Vrishanota Kundalini Kaula have been explained. O giver of boons to heroes, mother of heroes, Viramata. Now I will tell you about the practices of the Vani Manipura Chakra Kaulas. If one concentrates his mind there for just half a moment, assuming that you were there back in the day and that you were very talented, one achieves stillness, eloquence, mudras. One can subdue and attract others, and one can create agitation in cities. One who continuously practices this becomes established and firmly leaving in great strength from the lower regions and can assume any desired form. Once again, I will speak of another practice which is one of the highest Kaula achievements. By meditating intensely on the heart region, so we're going down, one immediately attains spiritual absorption and also with samadhi, and also assumes the power of paralyzing, superimposing, and other powers, or siddhis. Also, one will experience a vibration in the limbs, such as the hands, feet, head, and so on. And these are phenomena that are well known by yogis. They're called kriyas. One can describe things with spiritual insight. One can break things with the mind, what they call telekinesis. One can shake cities, and so on. O beautiful light one, in this state one may dominate over the celestial musicians, demigods, supernatural beings who dwell in the netherworlds, demonesses and sorcerers, vidyadharas, and rakshasas. There is no doubt that by practicing this wholeheartedly, one obtains instantly the power to agitate, the power of knowing the past and future, clairaudience, in other words, to be able to hear things that normal people can't hear, power to conquer cities, the abolition of death, and to know the yoginis. The purpose of the kula and the heart has been revealed to you. O Makrad Vaja, another name for Devi. I will again tell you about another wonder. By bringing the mind with full awareness to the channel of the throat. So this is a strange kind of sequence he's going in here. One can realize the true essence of the Shastras by means of one's own power. One will realize the past, the future, and the present. Notice how this repeats itself, because you have to remember these things weren't written before. Eventually they became written, but repetition is very important in order to memorize things. Back in the day, death will not overpower such a one. One becomes immutable and as effulgent as the gods, radiant. He becomes free from old age and ailments, wrinkles, and gray hair. If angry, one is able to shake all the three worlds along with the movable and immovable entities. Brahma, Vishnu, and the Rudras, together or separately, cannot achieve those siddhis as those who can achieve it by constantly practicing this method. So predominance is given to the yogi over pretty much all other beings. The Kaula path of initiation, the Kaula path of intention to go beyond, endows a practitioner with the knowledge of the non-self, Anatman, and the boon of supernatural mental powers. One who desires a success in Kaula tradition should adopt the true doctrine of the practice of bringing the attention to the trachea with full awareness. Why the trachea? Well, it's the place where speech is engendered, so it's very important because without speech, one can't transmit anything. Now, the secret of bringing the attention to the upper regions. Such a practice destroys all ailments is being revealed. After turning the tongue upwards, one should fix the mind thereon. If constantly practiced, this method will destroy adverse phenomena in a moment. Also, in a moment, one can become free from various diseases, old age, and death. It destroys all sorts of diseases. Yogis are known to be resistant to disease and so forth, hunger, thirst, heat, cold. Just as a lion kills other animals, in a single moment it frees one from diseases such as leprosy and so forth. I can attest to that. This practice of beautiful exudation destroys wrinkles and gray hair. The person then tastes the nectar like milk and becomes talented and immortal. Also, the sadhaka will taste the fluid, which is produced up in the nether regions of the skull, which is the taste of refined butter, and he will acquire total freedom. So there's a physiology to this whole process, right? One should practice the mudra of Vrijrimbika by concentrating the mind on the chakra of the nose. It's an interesting place to have a chakra. Thereby one will attain the power of eloquence, and one will become like a second god of love, attracting the heavenly maidens, goddesses, yakshinis, and vidyadharis, sorceresses. By offering sweets, candies, and saffron, one can attract and enjoy many celestial maidens. So this idea of being a monk and all this other stuff, I mean, that didn't predominate until later, right? The Nath tradition broke away from this Kaula tradition and became mainly monastic, but Kaula is not monastic, right? Not particularly. One who becomes knowledgeable about how to conduct the energy upwards, the kundalini as they say, the serpent spiral, by totally controlling the semen, achieves all the siddhis such as becoming minuscule, levitation, etc. He becomes a yogi. One who cannot do this is no yogi at all. Being able to alchemize, the base metals of mercury in oneself, such as semen, into something more powerful is part of the alchemical process for yogis to engage in. O sweet speaker, this heavenly chakra is hard to obtain. One should not ejaculate. Even when one is pleased, there is no better yoga than this. So the idea of semen retention and that sort of thing is something that goes way back. Greater than this is another secret. That is the secret of the Yogini Kaula. If it is constantly practiced, it generates great wonders. The siddhis such as anima, etc., the power of seeing from a distance, comes as a result of this. It comes about with constant practice, and there's no doubt about it. One can revive the dead and enter into another's body. So this has been known by great sages, been able to transfer consciousness and that sort of thing. One can make idols speak with the simple power of one's will, like a step up from ventriloquy, I suppose. One can shatter pictures and stones and seize animals. I can attest to that. One can hypnotize others and change one's own form. One can visualize in one's own body the gods Brahma, Vishnu, Yama, Indra, Varuna, Vayu, and Soma. in heaven, as well as other entities such as the Gandharvas, Kinnaras, just orders of beings here, Yakshas, Nagas, Vidyadharas, and tens of millions of celestial chariots adorned with all kinds of decorations. So yeah, I mean, it just goes on and on. There's a lot of hyperbole here, but that's part and parcel of this type of scripture. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. So, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva Om, Shiva Hum, Jai Ma. Jai Ma. Till next time.